Next, I'm going to introduce our second speaker of the day. This is going to be his icebreaker. Usually icebreakers are one of the most emotional speeches we've heard because it's all about themselves and that story that they want to share. Today we have Dave Kinnaman with his speech, Who Are You? It's a 4 to 6 minute speech. Let's welcome Dave Kinnaman.
Thank you. It was May 16th, about 4:45 in the afternoon. I was driving home. I stopped at a red light. Good idea. Opened up my cell phone to see if I had any emails while I was sitting there waiting, and there was one saying, could you meet with me tomorrow morning at 9:30? So I looked at my calendar. 9:30 was open. I said, sure. Got to work the next morning early, checked in, checked all my emails, went down to HR to meet with the director, and there was a VP in the office with her, and they shared with me that the company was doing a reduction in force, and that my job would be one of 15 that were eliminated. Needless to say, this was like that sucker punch that comes in for left field because I had just earned the highest quarterly incentive check the company had paid out ever. So work was going well, at least in my little sphere. Went home, devastated, got on the computer, registered for unemployment, registered for LinkedIn, started searching the job boards, and inevitably, every interview you go to, one of the first questions they ask you is, so tell me about you. And so over the last couple months, I've had to kind of figure out who I am. Earlier this week, my wife and I went to the movies, and we went and saw the movie Overcomer. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's a scene in which the basketball coach goes in to talk to a patient that he's been visiting, and the man says, well, tell me about you. Well, I'm the basketball coach at the school. And he said, but from what you tell me, half your players have moved away, so if that's stripped away from you, what's left? Well, I'm the history teacher and the cross-country coach. Well, how many members on your cross-country team? One, and she has asthma. Wow. So if that's stripped away, who are you? Well, I'm a dad and a husband, and goes through a few things. And he said, but you tell me you're the basketball coach at a Christian school. We're down about 5 questions. I haven't heard you say anything about God. And he's like, wow, well, I'm a son of God. And he said, doesn't that tell you something? That you got that deep into the questions and answers before that came to mind? So, in an interesting repetition or deja vu of what I had seen, and I wasn't elated to have all these things come into my life. About a week after I got laid off, I earned and received my 4th degree black belt in Korean martial arts. And right after that, my teacher closed the school and went on a month vacation with his girlfriend touring the Pacific Rim. And then he's come back, and it's just 1 or 2 days a week, and it's like, so I had that taken out of my life, and I've had to look back. I know we talk about emotions, and every day is kind of an emotional roller coaster. I get a call for an interview, and it's like, yes! And then I go in, and it's like, tell me why you should work here. Tell me why we should pay you what you think you're worth. Okay, we'll call you. And then day after day goes by, and then you get an email that says, hey, we think you got wonderful qualities and great experience. However, we've decided to move on in a different direction. Now, I am blessed. I've got more than I could ever think about that I need. As I've gone to 12-step meetings, I've heard so many brothers and sisters say, I am an addict. I am an addict. I'm not an addict. I'm a child of God who's been blessed with an addiction which allows me to stay humble and depend on Him. I am a father. I am a husband. My wife has stayed with me for 36 years through the highs and lows of my addictions. I have to remember every day who I am and why I can change the next day. One of my favorite scenes from Kung Fu Panda is where he's Kung Fu Panda 2, no less, where the bird's telling the big panda bear, yeah, well, they killed your parents, they burned the village, they took this, that's all in the past. Today, you can change where that road goes. So, in closing, I would like to say, as you think about who am I, think about who do you want to be, and what are you doing today to change that? Because if you don't change what you do, you're not going to change where life is going. Thank you.